Pangu Party prepares for 2022. Rigo District Headquarters decommissioned. And Boroko Rotary Club assists with vaccination.
This is National EMTV News with Dennis Orere.
Good evening and welcome. This is Saturday's news. Prime Minister James Marape says Pangu is working to take PNG on the right path of development heading into the future. Speaking following the party convention yesterday, the Prime Minister and party leader of the ruling Pangu coalition government says the convention focused on voting party executives and redefining Pangu's key policies for a better PNG. He made this bold statement where almost 100 delegates around the country attended the convention in the nation's capital.
Speaking after the convention, the Prime Minister made remarks on the gathering and spoke highly of its party's agenda in PNG politics. The Pangu member says the convention plays a key role in charting the party forward.
Today we affirmed that the party convention is supreme. Party convention is the venue in which it's really like the parliament of Pangu party. And so we were able to come together and we present our case. We had the reports of the last tenureship.
The one-day Pangu convention was attended by more than 85 members. The convention yesterday was also history-making following the election of former radio and tourism great Erigere Singin as the first Pangu party national president. The party's general secretary says Pangu is not just about men but women and children of this country.
Congratulations, first female national president of Pangu Party. This is history in the making, and we are showing the nation that Pangu Party is also an inclusive party. And this is what we want to tell the nation, that Pangu Party is not all about a male-dominated political party, but we are also very inclusive and gender conscious. So congratulations once again, Vice President male, Vice President female, and the church rep, welcome on board to Pangu Party.
Rounding his comments late yesterday, the Prime Minister says despite the pandemic, economic and climate woes, Pangu is now on the edge of taking back PNG on the right path to follow the primary dreams of founding fathers of the country. The Pangu man says the convention is where Pangu leads with its leadership.
We've now taken it back, putting on the right road that Somare, Peter Luce, Paul Laphoon, Tony Ila, Kobale Kale, Yano Bello, Pundia Kange, all say Matebe Yui, all the fathers of our nation, when they saw it in 1975, we lost it along the way, shameful to the younger generation. Today, the Pangu National Convention for the first time has reconvened. This will be not the last convention, but under able leadership of the President-elect, Ms. Singin and the team, we will now mounting to have a convention again proper. We will go in to discuss on our party constitution and policies, and we will take it to the next convention before 2022 elections, and hopefully to tell the story. Pangu was around in 1968, Pangu was at 1975, Pangu is today in 21 and 22, and Pangu is here to stay into the future.
Jack Power Jr., National EMTV News.
The Pangu Party convention was also history in the making with the election of Erigere Singin as the first woman national president. The announcement was made just hours after the convention. Singin says this is a huge shift, not just for the party, but women in the society. Singin is from Buana in Morobe, and she replaces Patrick Pundao.
What happened today is very historic. There's a huge paradigm shift here from having the men run the party or look sawen I give responsibility come lo meri lo ba mipla walk boom one time. It is so important that all leaders, all man, all leaders, all meri must walk one time. Lo karem desla party through. Lo karem desla country through, lo sanap strong, lo ngol get a strong plan, a lo talk Prime Minister I put him and me plaba walk boom. So me ama mas tasolo karem desla walk logo kwantay mo people blo Papua New Guinea, especially all mama na youth na all geta man Mary blo Papua New Guinea. Thank you, true.
The Rigo District Administration Headquarters office buildings at Kwikila Town were decommissioned yesterday. The retired buildings will pave way for a new 2 million kina project to build new offices to administer service delivery in the district.
As old as it looks, these buildings have been used for decades. The walls and doors have been broken with furniture exposed to rot. As a result, most of the administration staff have abandoned the office and are working from the comfort of their homes. This has forced the district authority to decommission the buildings and has proposed a new office to be built.
This particular project, the building of a new district headquarters, the public servants should be supporting this 200%. You see, because what we are doing is we're trying to improve your working environment.
Since its establishment in the colonial times, the Rigo District Headquarters has been an instrumental office in managing the affairs of the district, but more importantly, the significant changes in the past have been captured in these buildings.
Our former members, our former district commissioners or district administrators, or things of a historical value to be preserved within the new building. In a photographic form and in a written form.
Local MP Lekwa Gure, while emphasizing on development in the electorate, raised a serious concern.
And I think one of the issues that has derailed, if not, that has not allowed development to take place in Rigo is the sensitive issue of land.
This 2 million kina impact project will set a new dimension for Rigo. Gure challenged the district administration officers to work effectively in ensuring that services are delivered.
This is where the service delivery mechanism of Rigo District, the district administration staff work. And that they need to knuckle down and seriously consider the development needs and aspirations of Rigo District and for them to work to the best of their abilities.
Meanwhile, a temporary office will be set up for the staff to carry out their duties while waiting for the completion of the new buildings.
So, next to the district administrator's office, we are establishing temporary work container offices. 2 of them, plus a dry container for the storage of some of the old files and other things that they want to store there.
The construction of the new district administration office is expected to be completed in March next year. Suli National EMTV News.
In this time of crisis, Rotary Club of Boroko is always in action to assist surrounding communities with the help of their members, partners, donors and friends. The club recently launched their campaign for COVID-19 vaccine and is opening doors for anyone to be vaccinated. Today, they were out again for another mission.
The Rotary Club of Boroko launched their COVID-19 vaccination program in Port Moresby. They are expanding their services to anyone who wishes to be jabbed despite first or second dose. Boroko Rotary Club President Lionel Melville revealed that the club had committed about 150,000 kina for this project.
We put 150,000 kina into this to try and encourage Papua New Guineans, but also foreigners, to come and get vaccinated. Because getting vaccinated is the only way you can really deal with this Delta or any other part of this COVID-19.
It's been 7 days since the campaign was launched. As per the request to expand, the club has branched out to several hotspots to lend their services to countless people. In return, any persons who get vaccinated will receive Big Rooster and food voucher from the club.
SOE Deputy Controller requested us to extend our services to Vision City, where the vaccination drive is going on. So we are here today, put up our counter here to give away vouchers, and supported by again Big Rooster. And we'll hope for the best here. And we request the communities to everyone to get vaccinated, so prevent this sick.
The vaccination campaign, which began on the 23rd of August, will end on the 8th of September. Rotary Club is simply encouraging the people of PNG to get the COVID-19 vaccine as the number of cases are still on the rise in the country.
PNGs, I think, are probably a very long way behind in vaccinating its people. And it's not going to be easy. But we'll go on. Rotary is in Ley and up in Kokopo and Hagen and so on, so we can take it up there as well.
Jamie Harrow, National EMTV News.
You're watching National EMTV News. More stories when we come back. Stay with us. Welcome back to the news. Residents of Cheshire Disability Centre in Port Moresby have been gifted with hygiene supplies. A warm gesture by KPMG, well received by residents of the Disability Centre.
Gathered under the shades were people living with special needs, eager to receive vital items for a clean hygiene habit. The donation made is through KPMG's corporate donation and employee match campaign, focused on supporting community-based organizations.
For KPMG is not a media stunt. This is, even though there's media present and we appreciate being acknowledged, but even if we had not been acknowledged in this sense, this for us is us giving back as an organization. Now we are also, most of us are accountants, and it's not doing accounting for the sake of doing accounting and earning a living from that. It is ultimately, we have to do what we do in each profession for a higher purpose. And our higher purpose ultimately in PNG is giving back. Whether we're giving back to the business community by holding them accountable and making sure that the numbers that they produce can be relied upon, whether we're giving back in this sense, you know, all of us here and many more in the firm, we have this desire to give back.
Cheshire Home has been a place close to the hearts of people living with special needs. Bernard Ayi Iko, General Manager of Cheshire Disability Services in PNG, says while there has been a lack of support from the national government, Cheshire Home has been assisting the Port Moresby General Hospital with disability services.
Because what we acknowledge, even at the basis of human rights, is that disabled persons are just like any other person. They were born somewhere in the community. Then it means that something went wrong with their caretakers or their parents, and then they decided to bring them here and lose contact. So imagine if you're living somewhere where you don't see your parents, you don't see your siblings, and you're living by yourselves. It's actually a deprivation of your own rights. And that's what we are seeing happening with the majority of them now, because when they came, they were very young. But now that they have come of age, they also realize their own identities and there are certain social lives that they want, including marriage. So many times we are confronted with such questions like, I want to marry, I want to be married. That's the hardest question even the scientists will never answer. Because the environment in which they are cannot guarantee that. But they feel, and it's part of their rights.
Tekla Gunga, National EMTV News.
Back home, women are made for honor with power and purpose. A church women's conference held this week at Reverend Sione Kami Memorial Church in Port Moresby focused on this statement to empower and encourage women and girls in the country. Called the King's Daughters Conference, the three-day event sought to help women identify their spiritual calling and purpose in God. Respect for women and girls in the country has been a common topic of discussion and debate amongst social groups, the business community, and in government circles in recent times, given regular incidences of rape, abduction, torture, and abuse of women. From various perspectives, The value and purpose of women has been emphasized to encourage men, particularly perpetrators of violence, to honor that. The King's Daughters Conference this week at RSKMC provided an avenue for women to really understand their value and purpose on earth from a spiritual perspective.
My session was about spiritual maturity, knowing your place in the Lord. And when we begin to impart that knowledge to our young daughters and our mothers in the community, in the families, they will begin to give guidance, proper guidance, advice to the daughters and sons in the home. And also if mothers are involved in the ministry, that the blessings and the giftings of the ministry is a blessing for the home too. And so when the family, we were talking about families, when the family is right, the community is right, the nation is right.
The conference theme, based on biblical scripture Psalm 45 verses 9 and 10, affirms that women are made for honor and with power and purpose.
The way of our dressing also reveals some half-nakedness. And that also is attributing to the escalating of this immorality that is happening on the land. Genuine dressing, if we are a woman of God, if we are girls in the ministry, our dressing must reflect that you're a child of God. You're a woman of God, you're a woman of substance, you're a woman of prayer. It also involves our dressing, our attitudes and our behaviors in how we react and how we do things. And so when we begin to see things in the communities that we live, open your mouth and speak and address it.
We have a very strong family and sexual violence unit that's based at National Capital District Administration. And that need to be supported, and that service need to reach out to a lot of women. And we need to have a place where women can go and get counseling. That's not being provided for.
Like our topic for this conference is King's Daughters. So when you look at the king is somebody that is up there. So when we claim that we are the daughters or Pikinini from king, then we are somebody. We have whatever the king has in his palace. We are Yumigat Olgata right. So we have every right to do whatever we want, because we are claiming ourselves as daughter of kings, the Most High. We have that power, we have that authority.
The conference, which concluded today, covered the areas of women leadership, family and relationships, life goals, innovation and spiritual maturity, with various speakers and facilitators. Trukai Sports is next. Stay tuned for the details.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The Intrust Super Cup resumes this weekend with the SP PNG Hunters taking on South Logan Magpies on Sunday. All the Intrust Super Cup teams, including the Hunters, are keen to get back into the thick of things, playing out the remainder of the regular season.
This weekend's Intrust Super Cup round 15 matches will be the first in 5 weeks after the competition was put on hold due to a COVID lockdown in the southeast of Queensland. The Hunters will have one of their strongest lineups of the season, with the break enabling some players to overcome niggling injuries.
He's over. What a try.
The only player in doubt is forward Kevin Apple, who is still dealing with an ankle injury. The Hunters have an excellent record against their opponents this weekend, the South Logan Magpies, with 12 wins from the previous 14 meetings. Although South did overcome a spirited PNG team to win their clash earlier this season. The Magpies are currently locked in a fierce fight for the bottom half of the top 8, with one win separating teams placed 6th to 9th. Huxley Lovai, Trukai Sports.
And that ends Trukai Sports. The weather report is next. All the details after the break.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports. This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
Regional weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow in the southern region. Port Moresby, partly cloudy with brief showers possible. Daru, cloudy with few squally showers possible. Partly cloudy for Kerema. Alotau, brief evening showers. Popondetta, partly cloudy with brief showers possible. To the Momasa region, Lay, cloudy periods with some showers. Mostly fine for Medang, Wewak and Vanimo, mostly fine although partly cloudy at times. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, Kavieng and Kimbe, partly cloudy with brief showers possible. Mostly fine although partly cloudy at times for Kokopo and Rabaul. Buka, partly cloudy with few showers. In the Highlands region, all centers to expect partly cloudy with brief evening showers possible.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that's the news, sports and weather for today, Saturday, the 28th of August 2021. Until then, pleasant viewing, be safe, bye for now.